Edie and Galveston Mayor Kevin Johnson says this is a wake-up call about the budget crisis. The additional brownouts now set to take effect in just 3 weeks. Imagine your home is on fire and the nearest fire station is closed for the day to save the city money.
The primary role of government is to protect, people's lives and property. And for anybody who does not think that we're in a budget crisis, this is a wake-up call.
Cuts are hitting the Sapulpa Fire Department hard. The City Council tightened the belt tonight. There's still a possibility of layoffs, and a fire station may be closed.
The fire department has been told to cut nearly $11 million from its budget for 2011, and that could mean layoffs, fire company closings, and perhaps a longer response time. That's all up in the air at the present time, but how current funds are being used was very much of a burning issue at City Hall today.
But it's firefighters that are being targeted as Baltimore City faces serious cutbacks.
3 fire companies would also shut down if the city cannot plug a looming budget deficit by the end of this month.
As county leaders crunch the budget this week, one of the hardest hit departments has been fire rescue, facing a $17 million shortfall. News Channel 5's Angela Sacitano talked with the chief, who's struggling to make up the difference without putting residents at risk. Angela?
Kelly, Chief Steve Gerald is not hiding his frustration or his fear, and he tells me he doesn't see any end in sight.
Palm Beach County Fire Rescue Chief Steve Gerald has never let a challenge get the best of him. Starting out as a paramedic 32 years ago, he worked himself up to chief just 2 years ago. Still, all the perseverance in the world can't help this struggling economy.
We're facing challenges that in the history of this department we've never faced before.
Did cutbacks compromise Omaha firefighters as they tried to save a woman from this burning apartment building? Tonight, the captain who pulled her out says yes.
Right. Well, up until 3 weeks ago, Station 61 at 111th and I Streets had a ladder truck. Well, now it doesn't thanks to budget cuts.
The radios are crackling, the truck ready to go at Fire Station 2 in Clifton, and that's a welcome change for the crew here, considering it's been shut down the past few months. We first told you about Fire Station 2 back in March when the city of Clifton closed it because of budget constraints, laying off a dozen firefighters citywide, including Station 2 rookie Chris Morris.
I had no idea how long I was going to be laid off for. I figured it could be a couple years.
But today, Station 2 reopened. Chris Morris got his job and his gear back, and veteran Mike Montague got his second home back, but not without some sacrifice.
We offered to work 2 weeks without pay to save money for the city.
The result of tough negotiations between the city and the firefighters union. They'll take 1 week of furlough at the end of this month, another in October.
Departments are already facing financial strains. The association says more than 80% of volunteer firefighters say they have started dipping into their own pocket to help pay for equipment and supplies.
Welcome back to News 4 at 10. A fire department with no heat, hot water, and sometimes no lights. The Kinloch Fire Department is broke.
An ongoing issue for a department in financial straits. The fire department says it's paying what it can, sending $1,000 in last month.
Kind of a sad state of affairs. I mean, you're a fire department.
A little bit. As far as leaving, we're not going nowhere.
The call comes in. There's a house on fire, a car overturned, a chemical spill. All across America, firefighters rush to respond.
Station 25, 1084 to station.
Too often, without adequate gear and equipment. Over 70% of America's firefighters are volunteers, working without pay, often making do with hand-me-down, burnt and tattered gear.
Some segment of the community will suffer if we do have to cut. So we tried to be more efficient.
Your tax dollars pay for the fire department response. And so our job is to protect the community. And so that's exactly what our goal here is, and that's what we're going to do.